This is my 2007 Chevy Tahoe LTZ, and it has a storage problem. And this is my Rhino-Rack X-Tray large that RealTruck had gifted to me about a year ago, and I want to tell you guys all about it. Now, the 2007 Chevy Tahoe is pretty well known for having pretty lousage cargo area. So let's go ahead and open up this. As you can see, it is a decent sized area. However, I have personally found that our 2013 Ford Explorer actually has better cargo area, even though it's a smaller vehicle. So I was on the hunt to be able to get a little bit better storage in this vehicle, which is why I got the X-Tray. And so I have had it about a year now, and in this video, I'm going to tell you guys everything that you need to know about it. I'm going to tell you the upsides, the downsides, and if I would recommend it for you guys and who it is actually for. So I'm going to start off this review of the $713 X-Tray with talking about what I do like about it. And honestly, I really like the styling of this thing. It obviously is really, really high quality. It looks nice, a lot nicer than the other baskets out there. I really do like this little X logo here, and I like how it kind of like tilts up like this. Whenever you see somebody with a Rhino-Rack X-Tray, you know it is one of those just because it looks just quite a bit different than the other ones on the market. Of course, it does have things like this windshield right here, which basically pushes wind up and over to kind of give you hopefully a little bit better gas mileage. And being the large version of this, it has a pretty good capacity as well. As you can see, this is a Tahoe, which is a rather large vehicle, and it does extend pretty far along the rear of the vehicle. So another thing that I really do like about this really does come down to the quality of build and how long it has lasted. So this has been sitting in snow, sun, all of that kind of stuff, and you would never actually know it. It has held up really, really, really well. The only thing I have seen that didn't hold up super well is this logo right here. So this Rhino-Rack sticker, it is starting to kind of peel off, but that is after sitting in 2 different winters and then of course in a ton of different sun. So when it comes down to longevity and something that's going to last, I really do think this is probably going to be up there with that. And then the final upside to this is going to be its capacity. So this is again the large version, and when it comes to a lot of these different baskets, most of them are actually pretty small. So when you have a big vehicle like this, you want to get something that can fit a lot, and this X-Tray being so large is just a really great thing to have and just kind of future-proofs it as well. The downside is don't buy a large one if you have smaller vehicles because it's going to kind of overtake your vehicle. And with that, we're going to talk about the things that I don't like. And hint, I'll be honest, I probably am not going to be hanging on to this because of these downsides. Now, it really isn't a downside to the X-Tray specifically, but it really comes down to the usability of these baskets, which is why you see a lot of people starting to use rooftop boxes instead of these baskets. Even though these baskets do look cool, they just really aren't all that crazy functional because it is all open, and you have to be able to keep things down by using a net or straps or that kind of stuff. And so I have found that I really don't use it all that often, and I have no doubt that it's affecting the gas mileage of my car, so I don't know that I would keep something on my car that's hurting my gas mileage, costing me money, for something that I think I've only used once to transport a Christmas tree, which, let's be honest, it would fit on the roof anyways. And then something that is specific to the X-Tray and when I put this together is that it actually didn't line up perfectly when I was building it up. Behind this little X thing is basically where the 2 bars right here, so it actually comes in 2 pieces. So you have this bar and then you have this bar, and then you line them up, and behind there is actually a little grommet, and inside of that grommet is some screws to be able to connect the 2 pieces together. And I forget which side it is, but one side, one of the 2 screws on one side didn't fit perfectly. But with that said, with something that's $13, I would expect all the screws and everything to line up perfectly. And then the final downside to this, as I mentioned earlier, this is over $700 for a roof basket. And when you're comparing it to much less expensive roof baskets that do pretty much the same thing and also look pretty good, forking out that much money for a roof basket is a lot. Now, of course, this was gifted to me by RealTruck, but let's be honest, that is a huge budget for a roof basket. And you could spend that on a lot of other different mods, probably a little bit better than you could with this roof basket. And I will also say that things like fads and that kind of stuff have changed. I think these roof baskets are starting to lose out on popularity to other things that are just more like roof rails that go all the way across. I think the overlanding scene has kind of brought those in, and that's something I actually would recommend a little bit better, and I think would actually work a little bit better for most people. So then who is this roof basket for? I don't totally know. I think it's a little bit too expensive for most people, being over $700. It does look cool, but I'll be honest, I think you can have better spent money elsewhere. Now, this isn't against Rhino at all and Rhino-Rack's products. They make amazing products, and I think they actually make one of those roof rail systems. I would probably recommend getting that. I think it's called the Rhino-Rack Go or something like that. I would probably recommend getting something like that, and that is actually something I would love to put on this Tahoe because I think they're a little bit more usable. They have a little bit lower profile, they don't stick up as much, and I doubt they affect the gas mileage quite as much as those roof baskets. So I don't really know who these are for in this day and age. I think a lot of things have changed in the past year, and the fad has kind of moved more towards those racks instead of these baskets. So I think for me, I have a hard time recommending this, unfortunately, but it does look cool on here, and I really do like the style of it. If you are somebody that likes the style and just kind of wants to do it more for the aesthetic styling, hey, this is a great version, and it's really high quality. It'll last you a long time. But I think the usability just isn't quite there anymore, and there's better options out there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link to this roof basket down in the description and the top comment. If you guys are interested, it is a paid link and it helps me out with getting a commission if you wanna go that direction. I'm also gonna go ahead and leave a link to the better option that I think is a better option for you guys so that you can compare and decide which is the best for you. Now, as always, guys, make sure to subscribe if you found this video helpful. If you like product reviews like this in the automotive sector, I am going to be doing a ton of them. I do also review vehicles. Up here is a little card to where I reviewed this Tahoe in its entirety. Of course, it has terrible storage, but there's a lot of redeeming qualities on it, which is why I like it so much. And also make sure to like this video, as it makes it so that this video gets out into the algorithm a little bit better.